As you're saying, it's a big venue where a lot of people are sitting, so the air quality there was...
Oh, really bad?
Yeah. And only boys, you know?
Yeah, they want it cold, right? Yeah, we've learned that. All right, well, game 3 started. David, what are we seeing?
It's another Sicilian defense, this time slightly less cagey than the first game of today. It's the open Sicilian, Jan nepomniachtchi going on the attack early. And this last pawn move by white, pushing a pawn, then white g-pawn forward, shows his aggression. But Magnus reacts instantly. This is the height of opening fashion. This is one of the most trendy lines, most trendy variations in chess right now. We saw a trade of knights, black pushing a pawn forward. Now white is the first to castle. Black really needs to catch up on piece development, though. If you look at all of black's kingside pieces, all of the pieces on this side of the board, they're still asleep.
About nepomniachtchi's choice is that we're actually following a game that Niels Grandelius played against Magnus Carlsen.
Just look at the black pieces. He needs to bring them out. He does. He leaps out with the black knight, and white just guards 2 pawns with this last push.
One thing that's super interesting is actually, you know, when I've looked through the games, I always see one name that stands out that Magnus has been following, and it's always Jordan van Foreest, who was his second in the World Championship match. Magnus has been really impressed with the young Dutchman.
Yeah, we talked about air quality, but Jordan van Foreest, I think he was a breath of fresh air for the Magnus team at the World Championship match. So nepomniachtchi just preempting that, expecting that in advance, and stepping back with his queen. It's basically the World Championship match, just with lower stakes, lower prize money, slightly lower rated players,
but
and
just
a slightly
as much
shorter
honor.
match. The number 2 Scandinavian player, and yeah, it's going to be a battle.
That's going to ruin the friendship.
You're too nice, Jovanka. I would do anything to beat a friend.
No.
Maybe a launch pad for a future attack by white's knight or white's bishop. He doesn't do this. He plays the safer option. And talking of targeting pieces, the white knight was the target. Now the black knight on the side of the board is the big target.
And I guess then it's looking good for him so far. This could be the game he makes that comeback.
Yeah, I just think a great opening choice. When you need to win, it's nice to have these imbalances. And look at this, actually, exactly what I showed on the board has just happened. Black did try and challenge in the centre. This is thematic in the Sicilian. When you're on the black side, you want to explode open the centre of the board. But now, after the bishop hit the knight, it was defended, and this exchange, this trade, favours white. The black rook in the corner would drop off. So, OK, he doesn't even feel the need to block it up, maybe being more ambitious. Nepomniachtchi, he brings his knight in, already going for this isolated, doubled, weak pawn on the edge of the board. And from there, he'll jump in towards the black king.
It's sharpening up. And I can actually see that this has kind of been analysed in July 2021, but it didn't look good for black.
OK, so it's been analysed. This would be a real disaster for Magnus Carlsen, walking into a variation that is known. And, OK, the evaluation bar saying black is fine-ish now, but from a practical point of view, unless he's 100% sure, I think he's going to walk into danger. This black king stuck in the middle is going to be stranded there for a long time. Well,
I faced a very sharp opening against the Caro-Kann, and I didn't know my theory, and I lost very quickly.
Whoa.
And
what happened?
Yeah, Jan playing a very surprising move, actually, hitting the black queen with the white bishop. But this can be blocked by a pawn move. I'm wondering if the evaluation bar will correct itself. Yeah, I mean, this still feels super sharp, and to me, Jan nepomniachtchi may be still in preparation. So,
OK.
Yeah, that evaluation bar, let's ignore it for now. It's going to swing and swing and swing, as it has done throughout the whole final yesterday and today.
So a human move.
Yeah, it's a very human move.
Okay.
I think we'll see some fireworks. And there are some ideas behind it. I think Jan is actually getting ready for some really surprising sacrifices. I think black is in big practical trouble. OK, he does drop back with his queen. Now he wants to trade off. So black's queen is threatening to capture the white queen, but white's queen is just going to move out the way.
Coming, but he was like, OK, I'll go for it. The pawn can be pushed in the G file and my knight is on the F file, but that's OK. Like, I wouldn't be brave enough to do that. And it was a theoretical draw. I know that now.
Is that something you've actively worked on since your first over-the-board experience? If Magnus plays, OK, he just brings his rook across. Firstly, as Jovanka mentioned, queen takes pawn was a bad move, because now the bishop would actually hit the queen and hit the rook, a knight sacrifice which didn't work. This one, he made this knight check after a couple of minutes of thinking, but it was the wrong decision. And maybe just at that critical moment, investing another 2 minutes would have helped him find a stronger idea. And now the evaluation bar really hating white's position.
It can even sacrifice, OK, and there you go. The rook comes into the second rank.
Wow.
It's the best move, but it's also the most obvious move. So, of course, Magnus was going to find it. And Magnus just one chance. He was given one chance in the last game. He seized it. Now one chance in this game. So far, he's seized it, and yeah, that's why he's the world champion. He is ruthless. And meanwhile, okay, Jan jumping in with the queen. That's brave. Allowing black's rooks to come into the position. There is a threat from white.
And it seems like it happened to nepomniachtchi twice.
Yeah. So Magnus just offering the traded queens, and
I
white's
love
queen forced back, and then some queen checks to follow up. I'm not sure that works. Instead, he just brings his rooks down. How do you defend?
I mean, can you just ignore everything and just go queen takes bishop and...
Yeah, I think maybe he could have tried that, but I think there would have been some checkmating ideas if that had happened. So white dropping back the bishop to defend the pawn in front of the white king, but delivering checkmate at the very end.
Well, he's not gone for that.
Not gone for it,
He's
but
gone.
maybe finding a different strong path. Magnus in the current position taking this bishop, and now after king takes, he's jumping in with the black queen. Still strong, but your move winning on the spot, Katrina, I think. And now the white king is able to hide in the corner maybe. And Jan, is he living to fight another day, or has Magnus got a follow-up here?
I think he's going to do Katrina's idea.
There we go.
There we go,
There you go.
same idea.
And what a hard-fought and fantastic final by Jan nepomniachtchi. We know he's been under a lot of pressure. A lot of things has been on his mind. It must have been hard to focus. He has played some fantastic games. But there it is. It ends here. Magnus Carlsen winning 2 games today. He is the winner of the Airthings Master after an incredible final with the great Jan nepomniachtchi. But Magnus Carlsen showing his genius in this final. We've had incredible